I'm gonna put some lip gloss on. Hold on. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. And in today's video, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about the time that I predicted my school's director was stealing our money. Let's get into this story time, y'all. So for those who don't know, for a short period of time, I had dropped out of college, as you could tell by my last story time. And like I said in that video, I had went to cosmetology school. So with that being said, I had went to this cosmetology school that my friend put me on to. And I ain't gonna give too much, in depth, because if you watched the last video, I gave more details about it. So if you want to know more details about, my process of, going and signing up or whatever, watch that last video. But anyways, I'm in cosmetology school, right? And one big rule that they always had for us is that we had to wear all black. Black on black on black. Black on black. Black my thoughts so black. Like, all black. Literally, okay? Like, everything has to be black. And it had to be, like, of course, professional. Because in the beauty industry, a lot of times places will require you to wear black just because that's like their protocol or whatever. Not every cosmetology or like beauty based business requires that, because I have worked at some salons who don't require me to wear all black, but then I have worked at other salons who are like, no, you have to wear all black. So anyways, at this school we wore all black. And with that being said, on like our third day of the week, which for me, I went through Monday through Wednesday. On the Wednesdays, we could wear jeans if we paid $2, right? So I remember the first time like they offered it for us, I did it, and then after that I said, you know what? Why am I paying to wear jeans when I could just wear black jeans? Like, that's still wearing jeans. And also too, like I had stated in the last video, I was paying $1,000 a month. So in my head I said, baby, y'all not getting more money than I'm already giving you. So yeah, like straight like that, I just was not about to pay that $2, right? So with that being said, it was for a fundraiser as well. Like, it wasn't like they just wasn't having us do it just cause, like, it was for a fundraiser. So the goal was $3,000, right? So mind you, like I said, I went Monday through Wednesday, and then the other days was Thursday through Saturday. But most people did the Monday through Wednesday because it just like it worked better with having a salon job, because often during that time, like, you're working as an assistant if you can get an assisting job, and it is a lot easier to be able to work like Thursday through Sunday versus only being available Sunday through Wednesday, because a lot of salons are not open on Sundays or Mondays, and then some salons aren't open Sunday, Mondays, or Tuesdays. So it's just kind of like you're shit out of luck. So like I said, most people did Monday through Wednesday. So I'm gonna give you like the ratio for like every 2 people, it was 1 person that did the Thursday through Saturday, okay? And with that being said, like I said, the fundraiser was for both sides. We was A side, they was B side. And so with that being said, when it came to like the fundraiser, there were certain people that would always participate. Like, it was this one girl in my class, shout out to a baddie, her name is Chloe. I'm just so happy for that girl. She is doing amazing, so shout out to a girl named Chloe. But Chloe, every dang Wednesday, she paid him $2 to wear her jeans, okay? Like, I'm talking about from the time we got to cosmetology school to the end, like till she graduated, literally. And with that being said, it would be like a set 100 girls on the A side that would always participate, right? And then on the B side, it would be about like 50 of them, because I know y'all probably like, how you know? But for those who don't know, like, if you miss a day in cosmetology school, it really affects you. It's not like regular college where, okay, you miss a day, whatever, it ain't gonna set your graduation day back. Yes, it might mess you up because, you're missing important information, but it ain't gonna affect your graduation date. But in cosmetology school, it's all based on hours. So if you miss a day, your graduation date is pushed a day like back. But if you're like, you know what, I still want to graduate on time, but you miss some days, you can make up days, but you have to hurry up and like sign up for it, because they only allow like a certain amount. They only allow like 5 people to do it, and it would be like one person from each like phase or whatever at one point. So anyways, like I said, sometimes I would make up days and I would come on the B side, but often I try not to miss school, because like I had stated in that last video, since I was paying my tuition, paying $1,000 a month, I was going to school Monday through Wednesday and then working Thursday through Sunday literally. So I had no off days, and I couldn't afford to miss work, because I'm like, okay, I gotta pay my tuition, but then I can't afford to miss school because it's gonna push me back, and then if I want to make up the day to graduate on time, I'm missing my money. So I just was like, okay, you can't afford to make no mistakes. Of course, you know, we're human, and I still did miss some days, and it did push my graduation date back by like a week. But I did also make up days, because if I didn't make up no days, it would have pushed me back by 2 weeks. But I was like, okay, graduating a week late is already enough, so let's just get these days out of the way. And during that time too, my job was being petty, and it was cutting my hours, because my manager was trying to get me to quit, because Nordstrom is a hard job to get fired from, and so she was slowly like cutting my hours, trying not to like, you know, let me work. And it was at one point where I wasn't working for like weeks or whatever, and I was like, okay, well, during that time I'm gonna make up some days. And that's exactly what I did. I just made up my days, and I just did Uber from the in-between time. And at that time I had just finished paying off my tuition, so I wasn't stressing about, oh, how I'm gonna pay my tuition, because it was already paid off. I was like, baby, you ain't messing up nothing. The motion is still motioning, okay? But anyways, like I said, there used to be a set girls who used to pay the $2 every time, like faithfully. So I remember after like 4 months, I was like, bro, it ain't no reason why we aren't even halfway there, because they was like, yeah, we're not halfway there yet, whatever, whatever. But like I said, okay, if there's 100 girls on A side paying $2 every time, okay, that's $200. Then you got the girls on B side at, like I said, at least 50. So then that's $100, okay? So you're making $300 a week off of just jeans alone for the fundraiser. So I'm just sitting there thinking, like, how are we not even halfway there yet? Like, this is not making sense to me. Like, the math is not math, and like, what's going on, right? So anyways, I was like, why do I feel like they're stealing the money? But I made a joke about it, like, I'm just talking shit. And that's the crazy part. I didn't have that happen a few times where like I'm jokingly like talking shit. Like I say something like how I just said, I jokingly was talking shit to my friends, saying like, why I feel like they stealing the money? Like, why do I just feel like they stealing the money? Why, like, this is like the second time at that time that ended up being true. So far in my life, I've had 4 different situations where that's happened, where I, like I said, made a joke or whatever, and then before I knew it, it became true. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, am I Raven Simone in this? Like, let me stop. Raven Simone, yeah, you know, she done updated her name on us, but you know, to me she was Raven Simone, but that's Raven Simone, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and so it had got to a point where, like I said, I was trying to make up days or whatever, and they were really limiting, you know, how many people could sign up or whatever. And so the director of the school had decided to make these little like pamphlets, right, where for every book it's $20, and you have like coupons, and every time you redeem a coupon, it will make up for whatever days you missed, because our attendance rates was so low. Like, it was so bad, y'all. Like, and technically when you're in cosmetology school, it's okay if you graduate a little late, but when it gets to the point where it's about to enter a whole new phase, they're technically supposed to charge you more for however long you're there, but they didn't. Like, they was being generous. So like I said, the attendance rates was horrible. Like, half of my class did not show up to school like that, and I always made sure to be on time, be at school. Like, even my friends, they would not be coming to school on time. They would always come late, which also affects your time, because even if you come in 15-30 minutes late, I'm like, it's still pushing you back slowly. It's just not as bad as missing a whole day. But anyways, like I said, like, it was a point where like it would be some days where it would be like me by myself because all of my friends didn't come to school, or it might be like me and like the other girl in our friend group, but she just came like really late or whatever, right? And at the end, me and her, we started making up days. Like, it was like we was making up days together. It was to the point where I would sleep over her house and we would go to school together, because we trying to hurry up and graduate and get up out of here. Like, we're trying to make money. Like, she had a whole bunch of like things waiting for her after, like, you know, we graduated, because first her lease was about to end. So she's like, you know, I have to hurry up and graduate before my lease ends, because I cannot renew my lease, because, you know, it's not gonna make no sense, because she was trying to go back home, which was in South Georgia, okay? So she like, I gotta hurry up and graduate. But also too, she had a job waiting on her. Like, she had already secured a job because she works in like the pageant industry with her family, because her family owned a pageant dress shop. So she always did hair and makeup. So she already had that experience and stuff under her belt. Like, that was her job. Like, she made money for it. Like, every weekend she would drive down to South Georgia and go do hair and pageant, like makeup and stuff. So like, she already had a salon job waiting, and at the time she was like engaged to this guy, and he had already started buying them a house down there. So she like, baby, I gotta go, okay? Which I don't blame you. Like, go be with your man and go get your job, girl, period, okay? But anyways, like I said, like, they made these little pamphlet books, and you, like I said, could redeem the coupon. But the way they did the pamphlet books is they did it by whoever had like the worst like attendance first, they got first dibs, because it's like, okay, they needed more. And then they was just like, you know, once they're like taken care of and out the way, then, you know, whoever else needed, like, you can get it, right? So y'all, I'm like, okay. And they was like, well, your attendance is really not bad at all. Like, it's pretty good. So you gonna have to wait to the very, very end. Like, I'm talking about when all them people was knocked out the way. So I said, okay, that's fine. That ain't no problem, y'all. So when I finally come to her office, she literally had just sold the last little pamphlet book, right? So right when she sold it, she told me, she said, hey, I'm gonna make some more. Don't tell nobody though. Like, they might think like this is the end, but it's not. Like, I'm gonna make some more. I just have to print off more copies, but don't tell nobody yet. Like, I'm gonna make an announcement when we come back to school on Monday and whatever, and let them know, because like I said, they ran out of books to the point where the B-side students didn't even get a chance to get any. Like, none of them got any because everybody on A-side took it. Hey guys, it's Editing Chrissy here, and I realized that the description that I gave of Janet never made it into the video and it got cut off. So let me just give it here real quick. So Janet was this girl that I, like I said, went to cosmetology school with, but we were not in the same phase. She had started months after me, and long story short, I used to have the hugest crush on this girl when we was in cosmetology school. Like, I always tell people it took a lot for me to be like really into a non-black woman. So if I like you, like, you're really extraordinary, and I just thought she was extraordinary, and I really thought she was a beautiful girl. And her, like, she always kept her hair in a side part with layers. She had these big old glasses, and then the body was T la la, okay, T for days. And then, like I said, I just thought she was a very gorgeous girl. So anyway, that's who Janet is, because I know y'all probably like, who the hell is Janet? Why Janet snitching? Like, who that? Who is she to the plot? That is Janet. But yeah, back to the video, guys. So like I said, Janet was just like, you know, hey, like, are they still doing it? Like, what's up? And I was like, oh no, like, she actually just sold the very last one. I was actually trying to get one myself, but like, don't stress about it. Something is coming up soon. Like, I'm not supposed to tell nobody, but just know that, like, you're gonna be able to, you know, get a chance to get the book eventually. It's just not gonna be right now. So I tell the girl that, right? Mind you, I'm not supposed to tell her that. That was like, I was being already vague, but that was still giving away too much information. But y'all, do y'all know that this girl got so mad? Janet got so mad, y'all, that she went and called the big dogs. That she called corporate on her. She called like our school director's bosses on her, okay? And she gave them all the tea, because technically what she was doing was illegal, because like I said, like, the only way you could be able to make up hours is if you came on the B side. She was not supposed to be taking money, doing all of that. Like, all of that stuff she was doing was under the table. Like, none of them knew. But I thought that was like an obvious thing. Like, I thought it was obvious, like, yeah, this was not like the right like legal way. Like, she was doing stuff under the table. But anyways, she called corporate on them. Before you know it, that lady, before they could even fire her, she got up out of there, y'all. And everybody was pissed because I ended up telling everybody, like, yeah, she was gonna make more. Like, she had told me to, like, you know, not say nothing. And so once I had told everybody that, everybody was mad. But I wasn't telling them who the girl was. I just never gave her name out. But her class had found out that she did it, so her class ratted her out, because I didn't want to rat her out, just because, like I said, I had a little crush on her. And also too, I was just like, I didn't know like what they was gonna do. And even though it wasn't my job to protect her or nothing, I just kind of was like, okay, like, I ain't trying to be in the middle of the drama, because I didn't want people to be like, oh, well, Christina told me that it was her. And no, what I did tell you is that she was making more bucks. That's what I told you. I didn't tell you who did it. But like I said, the girl ended up telling her class that she did it, and her class exposed her to the whole school. And so people was on that ass. Like, bitches was on that ass for the longest, for weeks, because like I said, a lot of people wanted to get their hands on that book. Like, they wanted their hands on that book. I was one of those people. I'm not gonna lie, I was mad as hell, just because I was gonna get the book and then, you know, make up the time or whatever. But thankfully everybody had got their money back. Like, they ended up getting refunds. It took a minute, but it was like a whole thing. Like, it was so freaking crazy. And that school was just like, I had so much fun at that school, but it was just so much like ghetto-ness in between. So I realized like I missed a whole part. But after the girl had reported her to like her higher ups, they did an investigation. And when they did an investigation is when they found out that she was actually stealing fundraiser money, and that we had been made the goal already. Like, she had already submitted like the stuff or whatever, but she was still collecting money from us. And that's why she jumped ship prior to like getting fired or whatever, because like I said, they did that investigation. But when I was over here editing, I realized I did not explain that part, and I still didn't explain technically how she was being a scammer or whatever. But yeah, that's the tea on why she ended up quitting before she damn got fired. And like I said in my last video, I was gonna been do a story time on this, but so much stuff has been happening in my personal life, and I just been like, you know, kind of putting it off, just because like I said, I've been having so much go on. But it's crazy because I actually seen one of my old cosmetology school teachers at my job today, and I was like, okay, I gotta do the story time for real now, because she's the second cosmetology school teacher that I done had like at my job. Like, the first time I was walking in my car on my lunch break, and one of them like was driving, and she stopped her car, and at first I'm thinking like she stopped her car to like, you know, let me walk. But then as I'm walking, I hear her scream my name. I'm like, who the heck? Like, who that calling me? Like, I'm good, I don't need no ride.
I don't need no ride, thank y'all. Not they trying to pick me up. Sure, come get me, bitch. People trying to come pick me up, ho.
But no, for real, like, that experience was so crazy, because I was so sad, y'all. And I was like, dang, now I really gotta make up these days for real. But like I said, it just worked out that, like I said, my manager was being messy, so I had the off days to make up the time. So that's what I did. I just made up my days, and I ended up graduating on my 21st birthday. And I had so much like fun. Like I said, I had so many great experiences in the school, outside of the school. Like, yeah, it was crazy. I don't know whatever happened to her. Like I said, she quit before she could get fired, but I don't know where she's at right now in life. But all I hope is that she left her scamming ways alone. And it's crazy because she's one of the mega Christian people. Like, she used to be preaching at school, and she would get reported all the time, because a lot of people was just like, you know, they would either be like, it's against my religion, because some people were like, I'm Jewish, like, it's against my religion to, you know, like, be interacting with other like religion in that way. Some people were Muslim, like, and so she would always get reports because she would do stuff like that. So when it came out that she was a scammer, it was just kind of like, this is not surprising. This is not surprising at all, because I feel like a lot of times the church scams its congregation. So I'm not shocked that this lady who is a preacher outside of here is scamming people out of their money. But yeah, but like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. If you ever want to see more content like this, you know, subscribe, hit that inbox, ask for more videos. You know, I might drop it if you ask.